日本の成長を支えてきたのが官僚です。人口1000人あたりの中央政府の職員の数は日本は 2.8 人。諸外国に比べてもスリムな体制で仕事をしてきました。国民の間にも日本の官僚はよく働くというイメージがありました。選挙民の利害に左右されやすい政治家と違って長期的な視点に立って国の将来を考えている、そのようにも思われてきました。ではその官僚の働きぶりを見てみましょう。
Kasumigaseki in Tokyo is the power center of the bureaucracy, home to 12 ministries and the Cabinet Office. One of the ministries is sometimes called the ultimate bureaucratic institution, the Ministry of Finance. In December 1996, budgeting for the upcoming financial year was in its final stage. Many local governments were represented, each with a case to put to the MOF. The Budget Bureau compiles budgets, monitors spending and settles accounts. This particular department handles the transport budget. In 1996, many local authorities were pressing for approval of new work to extend Japan's bullet train network. The Shinkansen bullet trains travel at over 200 kilometers per hour. By improving access and transport links in general, they greatly benefit local areas and boost their economies. Some routes had been planned more than 25 years before, but then delayed because their profitability was in question. The affected regions were desperate to see the Shinkansen reach them. Mr. Nanki, budget examiner of the Transport Budget Department, was the person responsible for making the final decisions.
元の約束があるわけですから、それはぜひ果たしてもらうと。なんて言いますか、国の負担というのは当面はそれは建設国債ということになりますけれども、それは建設国債というのはいずれはその将来のですね世代の税金で賄うということになるわけでございますので、やっぱり今みたいなその財政事情が悪くてですね高齢化が進展している中でですね、やっぱりきちんとしたものがないとですね、やっぱりそこはなかなか実際問題として難しいと。長崎の途中とは大事な新幹線のルートだと、これも先生方十分ご存知だろうと思うわけですからね。それからまあ大した財源じゃございませんのでやっぱり財政事情っていうのは大変なんですよと。だからきちんとした財源を作らなきゃいけないんですよという議論をしてきたということなんですけどね。
At that time, there were frequent demonstrations in Kasumigaseki demanding that construction be started. Communities along the proposed routes had high hopes. They wanted the work to get started without any more delay. Their most prominent supporters, naturally, were Diet members from the affected areas. The Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, formed a special committee to study the issue. Many Diet members owed their election to having promised to get construction started as soon as possible. Because of the huge cost to the National Treasury, the MOF wanted to avoid building the new lines. But they also recognized that further postponement would provoke even more political pressure. So they favored a compromise, starting construction only of those lines which could be paid for out of whatever funding the MOF was prepared to release. First, the MOF decided on the source of construction funds and tried to keep the scale of work within those limits. If the work was to start, then the government needed to make sure it could keep spending under control. Wondering where to get the money to start construction, Mr. Nanki focused on the fixed asset tax levied on railway companies. The tax was due to be increased that year, but the revenue had been designated for local authorities. So, Mr. Nanki negotiated with the Ministry of Home Affairs, which regulates fiscal policies for local and regional areas. In Japan, harmony between ministries is important. They discussed ways to reallocate funds for extending the Shinkansen network. There were tough negotiations over how the burden would be shared. But in the end, the differences were overcome, and the money was found. The new construction would be limited by the money available. The fear of unchecked spending was averted for the time being. But finalizing the exact budget for this project is still in the early stages. Many details remain to be worked out. Today, Japan's fiscal policy is in trouble. The national debt has topped 550 trillion yen and is still rising. How will spending be reined in to restore fiscal balance? That's the tough challenge facing the MOF.
経済が減速した今日は交際費が非常に膨れ上がっちゃったということもありましてね、一般の予算に対する予算の枠っていうのが横ばいあるいはマイナスというふうに非常に厳しい状態になっていると。ところがそれに対して高齢化の予算であるとか、それから国際貢献とか、それから科学技術の問題であるなどなどですね、財政需要は一つ一つは依然として極めて旺盛なものがあるわけですよ。
Essentially, each and every expenditure in the present budgeting process has got to be reconsidered.
日本では新しい政策を発表するときには事前に他の役所との調整を済ませて与党にも了解を取り付けてから行うというのが鉄則になっています。個人プレーが厳しく戒められている背景には憲法にも定められている公務員は全体の奉仕者であるという倫理観があります。官僚への採用も情実ではなく国家試験を実力で突破することが求められています。
Japan's bureaucracy reached the peak of its power and influence during the high-growth era. The Ministry of Construction poured its energies into building infrastructure like expressways and the main bullet train lines. At MITI, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry, the watchword was priority production, developing the basic industries that would propel the nation's economy. The ministries devised the systems and plans, and the prefectural authorities put them into practice. This centralization enabled people all across Japan to enjoy essentially the same standard of living. But when the high-growth era ended, the government failed to recalibrate the scale of its commitments to suit an era of slower growth. The public works budget was simply shared out in the same ratios year after year, instead of being allocated to the most important priorities. In 1984, the government decided to instill more rigor into the bureaucratic system by privatizing the telecommunications monopoly, NTT.
起立多数よって3案とも委員長報告のとおり可決いたしました。
NTT was massively overstaffed and registering huge losses. To promote rationalization and a more flexible management mindset, NTT was privatized and became a corporation.
本日より電話機は民営化でございます。どうぞいらっしゃいませ。電話機は大変お買い得になっております。いらっしゃいませ。どうぞ。どうぞいらっしゃいませ。
With bureaucratic regulations removed from the telecom sector, many new private companies appeared. Fierce price competition broke out. As a result, phone bills dropped dramatically, while service quality improved. The approval and licensing powers that sustained bureaucratic influence have been gradually stripped away.
"最近は官僚を見る目も変わってきました。歳出削減が進む中で自分の役所の予算を守ることを優先しているのではないか、あるいは前例にとらわれて大胆な政策が打ち出せなくなっているのではないか、そういう厳しい批判に直面しています。高度成長を支えてきた日本の官僚は今、過去の成功体験にとらわれない新たな発想が求められています。